Oh!
Super.
Spoon it. Yeah.
Get your watch out.
Whenever I'm down, you carry me away. You turn my whole life around just with what you say.
We are live. How are we doing, everyone? You mad watch collectors, you, eh? We made it through another week, didn't we? I haven't seen you in ages live, but I am very excited to be here on a Wednesday. I'm off at the minute. I'm not working. My day job is a tennis coach, so I'm at home, and you know, schedules all over the show. So I'm not able to do any shows at the minute. I'll be back to regular stuff next regular broadcasting next week. But yeah, got some great stuff lined up. How are we all doing? I'm just looking through the chat. We got I'm looking I'm looking through the members first. The Dawn Hunter, Squirrel's in the house. How are you, my friend? Spence Miller's in the house. Lovely Spence. We've got Gary. How you doing, Gary? Gary Goldingay. How are you doing? Not Scaz. Love Gary. How are we doing? We all right? How has the week been? It's Wednesday. It's what they call hump day. Don't be cheeky. We got to get over this hump, and we are over it. Skylar Santana, live from New York. Love it. I do apologize for the time for you guys in the US, because I know in NYC it probably is about 3:30. But what better time to, you know, open a packet of Bickies cookies and get your favorite brew, coffee, and watch a little bit of fun on YouTube. So yeah, I hope you're doing really well. Thank you to everybody that has continued to support the Mad Watch Collector channel. It is crazy the sort of numbers we've got for subscribers, the unit we have, the community. It is pretty special. And I'm really annoyed that I don't do live shows enough. I just don't have I don't know, a setup which can just stay there, because if I did, I'd probably do it much more often. But anyway, love you all. Humpty Dance in Order is Outdoors with Jim. I'll tell you in a minute. I've actually got that here, actually. Get your watch out. For me, I've got a Homage on. Well, Homage for me, it's the old HKR, my collaboration watch with the mighty Radcliffe watches. There he is. Oh, he's a bit dirty. Look, he's been about. Look, I mean, give me a rub. That's actually embarrassing. It shows you I wear it though, doesn't it? Eh? Here we go. I've actually StreamYard is now streaming in HD, which is it could do it before, but you had to pay for it, and I ain't gonna pay for that. You know what I'm saying? But now it is. Everything's really crispy. But yeah, this is the bad boy, and it's a homage to basically all the World War II watches that I love from the 1940s to the 50s and onwards. That's a homage. That's how homages should be done, in my eyes. A tip of the hat, a little nod, a little celebration to great stuff that has been before us, and used in a way that you can create something a little bit different, a little bit more of its own personality. But anyway, I still love this watch. Congrats to everyone that did get it. Now that, you know, it's become an actual thing and people actually got their Mad Hacker watches, hopefully all those people that are on the fence about buying these collaboration watches will realize that these watches were really actually well made. And the dive watch will be superb. Just look out for that, team. Look out for that. Anyway, get your watch out, everyone. Let's have a look at you. Let's get to the members first. Mike Crow's in the house, by the way. There's so many of you. It's so good to see you on the midweek. Can you give a big shout to Mrs. MWC, who is the moderator? I don't know if you've seen lately on the shows, but if you look in the comments, there's random profiles that have just been made recently, and their names, they're like 3 different names in a row, totally random. It's ridiculous. I don't know what benefit it is, what algorithmic benefit it has to anyone, but if you see it, report it, because it's ridiculous. So yeah, let's have a look what we got. What are we wearing? Platoon. I call my members the platoon. We have a little chat on the Discord. But yeah. Oh, Ascari Jones. He's got his I'm still in the underground on FKM rubber strap. FKM Tropic. That's lovely, my friend, isn't it? Isn't it lovely? Who else we got? What we got? Squirrel, what you wearing? What you wearing? Yes, Gary. Gary, I love anyone that follows the Instagram account of the Mad Watch Collector. I've posted or shared a lot of Knots Gaz. He's been everywhere this 6 weeks holiday. Crikey, he's been camping everywhere with the MHKR. He's been loving it, and I've loved seeing it. Oh, True Brit, how are you, my friend? He's got the Ocean Crawler Core Diver. Love that. Case is in the house. Hope you're doing well, Case. He's obviously had a bath because he's not wearing a watch now, but he wore his Zin 105. Beautiful watch. Beautiful watch. Orville, how are you, my friend? I haven't heard from you in a long time. This is what happens when you don't do live shows. I don't hear from you guys. I'm wearing a Casio Timber Cruiser. Original 90s watch. That is superb. I'm just going through random here until I get to members. Glitter. Neurosis. Seiko Mini Turtle Green. That's a lovely watch, my friend. That is a lovely watch. Oh, look, say hello to can't do that one. She's in the house though. Mrs. MWC is in the house. You are the force. I love that is good. And this could be taken the wrong way, but it is actually Squirrel. It's not a nickname. Hi, Squirrel. But yeah, there we go. Kenneth. Now, someone was asking about an Orient Star, and we're asking me, is it worth paying the extra money? I honestly will say this. I think this is the Orient Star Classic, but this watch, first of all, the money goes in the movement. This Orient has, I'm pretty sure, from what I remember, doesn't look like a 4 hertz movement, but the movement is a high grade from Orient. The bracelet is just so comfortable, and that's not something that you would say with Orient watches. But yes, I love it's sapphire glass. It's a beautifully made watch, nice and thin, automatic. It's got a lovely, I don't know if you can see that, lovely rotor inside. It's a gorgeous watch, very nice. And for some reason, I've still got it. It was on the purge list. But I really do love this watch. I do love it. If someone does want it, give me a buzz. But I'm quite tempted to keep it because it's my ultra one only dress watch that I really own, So yeah. Oh, Mark Bowman. Mark Bowman's got his Anhart. Love it. Absolutely fantastic. Look at that, Dawn. Dawn Hunter's got the Seiko Landmaster. Absolutely beautiful watch. One of my favorite. And I love this from Nick Nicola. Hope you're doing well, Nick Nicola. Look what I got. Bonkers watch. Bonkers. This is the Radcliffe Le Dome. It's on for pre-order at the minute. It's a gorgeous FKM rubber strap. It's not a watch that I would particularly ever wear because it's crazy, but I know there's loads of people that love these sorts of watches. He's also doing the tourbillon Le Dome, beautiful sapphire dome thing. Beautiful rotor on the back, another beautiful rotor. I don't know if you can see that. Gorgeous, gorgeous watch. I don't know how long that pre-order is on the Le Dome, but complications like this watch are not cheap everywhere else. So yeah, you know. Oh, look who it is. Look, it's Olympic Sitter. Got an Ingersoll Catalina homage to the Nautilus on. Hope you're doing well, Olympic Sitter, and congratulations on your Nautilus homage. Oh, Timothy got the old Range Master on. I do love that. Yeah, so we're at 220 people, which is phenomenal on a Wednesday. I'd love to know, well, first of all, can you click the like button, because we might get this to other people? That'd be great. But what your genuine thoughts are on Homage watches, because if you go on YouTube, on the internet, there are literally thousands of reviewers talking about these watches. And when I say homage, I don't mean inspired. I've got a Homage watch. One of my favorite watches of all time is a Homage watch, and it is the Tudor Black Bay. Tudor Black Bay 58. It's my favorite diver I own. Specs, history, you know, wearability on my wrist. I absolutely love this watch. It feels the price. It looks the price. You know, the brand, everything. It's gone up a bit, I have to admit. It definitely has gone up a bit in price, the 58s, all Tudors, to be fair, recently. But this is a homage to basically Tudor and Rolex Submariners from the 50s. And, you know, specifically a one that was out in 1958. Hence the name 58. So, you know, I'm all for my favorite watches are homages. My other favorite watches are reinterpretations. I got another reinterpretation right here. The Seiko Ani, the SNJ 025, recreating a watch that was out in the 80s called the H558. A watch worn by Arnie Schwarzenegger. He wore it in Predator, Commando, and basically it was a watch that he actually owned himself. But this is one of my favorite watches. I love reinterpretations as well as homages. Retro, basically, you know. What I've always had a problem with, and this goes back to my music roots, because I am a musician. I still am a musician. I love tinkering on the guitar. I love making ideas, doing songs. And hopefully we'll be doing some new songs soon. What I really don't like, and I put it in my shoes as a songwriter. So if I came out with a song, and you know, it did pretty well. It was great. Did really well from it. And then there was somebody else or two other artists that brought out the song of mine, and I did get no royalties. There's nothing that I get from it. There's nothing. I can't sue them for it. That's what it feels like with these watches. How do, you know, companies like this get away with it? Because in the music business, if I was to copy a song by the Beatles, I bet you any money the old lawyers will be on my case straight away the second the song comes out. So yeah, that's where I don't like it. I don't like the fact that it's somebody else's work and design, and it's been made purely to pull at the heartstrings of certain people that might not be able to afford the real thing, and so they get taken in to buy these watches. That's not what I don't like. And I also don't like a company just being made, a company just being about copying other brands, even though that now they might be coming up with their own stuff, their own original stuff. Where they got their money from and where they get their money still is from copying other brands. And I really don't like that. I've just got this funny thing with it. Okay, but that's just me. And I know there are some fantastic Homage brands out there. San Martin for one. Now I like, is Nicola is one. He's got a little thought. I love watches, but I can't justify spending thousands on watches if I can get something which gives me the look but not the actual item. Now I know a few people that have done that 6, 7, 8 times, Nick. So they've got 6, 7, 8 watches that are copies of others, and at the end of it they have you know, really needed it. Never what's the word, it never gives them the satisfaction of actually owning the actual watch, when in actual fact they could have not spent that money and used all that money to buy something really dang good, you know, that wasn't homaging something, that wasn't copying. And I've talked to countless amount of people that have wasted almost pretty much thousands of pounds on watches they're never going to wear because, you know, they were just cheap at the start. And, you know, they were a Rolex Submariner lookalike, or they were a Seamaster lookalike, or they were a Nautilus lookalike, or a Royal Oak lookalike. Where I think these sort of watches are good is for starter beginner enthusiasts, because it gets you into the hobby nice and easy. You don't have to spend too much money. You usually get a very reliable movement in a Seiko NH35, which is really good. And they're solid watches. There's no denying that. And I like that. I really like that because it gets you into the hobby. I think that's the best reason Homage watches exist for us punters. To be fair, the other thing is, what I love, and we have to accept this, is that if we didn't have all these Homage brands from China, then we wouldn't have the amount of fantastic micro brands that have come out in the last 3, 4, 5 years, because those companies that do those copycat watches also make watches for clients, and you have to accept that. And you know, that goes for the MHKR, this watch. I doubt if there wasn't a market for Homage watches, I doubt I would ever have a chance to do a field watch. So that's where I think it's really good. So it's for the beginner enthusiasts, and it's for the fact that the micro brands have been able to boom because there's so many of these great factories making that can actually make a great watch, but go for the lowest hanging fruit, which is a bit annoying. But my thoughts are complete respect to anyone that buys a flipping watch in 2024, though, isn't it? I mean, with all the smart watches and everything else that comes out, for someone to actually go out and purchase a mechanical watch, or maybe a quartz watch, that's phenomenal. That is brilliant, because there are less and less people doing that, obviously, because watches are a dying tool, aren't they? We know this. So anyone that buys a watch, I absolutely respect. It's just I get a lot of comments saying, why haven't you looked at Addis Dive? Why don't you look at San Martin? Why don't you look at Coniston? Why don't you look at other Pagani? Why don't you look at there's loads of brands, even Steinhardt. But that's why. That is my humble opinion. That's my thoughts. And I went, you know, in my hobby, you know, I was brought up with Casio, and I started the watch hobby probably at a decent time, like 8 to 10 years ago, when most Seikos were pretty darn affordable, great ones. I got my SKXs for about 150, 160 pounds, and that was my gateway into the hobby. Whereas now, 160 pounds could get you a Seagull 1963, which is a Chinese watch, but that's a special one. You could probably only get a San Martin. You couldn't get yourself many Seikos, not ones that have just been made anyway. So I absolutely understand that the market has completely changed. So yeah, that's my view. It's just I get asked a lot, where is your Addis dive? Where is this? Why don't you talk about this brand? Why don't you talk about that brand? And the answer is, they're a brand that copies other brands to make a swift buck. And fair play to them. Skmee, classic example of a brand that have completely on the coattails of Casio. And Skmee do make their own designs. They are absolutely horrible, but they do. But you know, Skmee is a funny brand because they're almost the same price as Casios. This is, you know. So yeah. Anyway, that's my view. That's my view on it, and I'm really interested to look at your comments and think what you want. Buy what you like. This is also when I talk about things online. There's always this comment, like a Christopher comment: buy what you like, not for the name. Which is absolutely fine, and I absolutely love that. I absolutely love that. He's going to say something fantastic about the SkyQuest, which is good as well. I sold my Tudor Black Bay Pro, which I think is a flipping big chunk of watch. There's a lot of people touting and lauding over the Tudor Black Bay Chrono, the blue one. But if you've ever had that watch in your hand and on your wrist, I would say there's only 25% of the population of the world that could wear that and be comfortable with it. It's so chunky. So yeah, although it's a great color, it ain't wearable for most of us. Even the skinny wrist, no way. Anyway, sold my Black Bay Pro for a Monta SkyQuest. The Monta was just better. It's a phenomenal watch. It's one of my favorite micro brand watches, the SkyQuest from Monta. I love that watch, Christopher. I was very upset that it went. To be fair, he knows who he is that got it, but it went to a very good friend of the show, so I'm really chuffed about that. So yeah. Anyway, let's have a look. Oh, love this. I love how many people think I'm a shill for Zero West, and not just the fact I'm just a fan of people that put so much effort into watches. Went to see Zero West off the back of your vids. Very nice watches. Thank you, my friend. And that's the thing with Zero West. They have their own. It's not boutique. You don't call it a boutique down there because it's a proper working studio. But yeah, you can go and see these watches. Very undeniable at the minute, my friend. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. 5 years ago, I just looked at the C60. I think it was the C60 or C65 Trident, and it was just it was trying to be too much of an Omega Seamaster for me, and it was a little bit boring. You can't really say that about Christopher Ward. Yes, they have their staples in their catalog, but they're taking over the world, Christopher Ward. But there we go. Anakin Star Killer. The San Martin Tudor Coke GMT is $329. I feel sorry for people who chose that over an original design. That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money for a Homage watch. But like Steinhardt's are about £1,000. It's ridiculous. Oh, Lee, I'm wearing the Volcane Blue Skin Diver. That watch is absolutely gorgeous. One of my favorites of the year, 100%. Savage Models, the wife's not going to let me. The wife will not let me. So yeah. I have settled, here we go. I've settled on an Explorer Homage after having tried and tested the original in both sizes. Okay, my friend, that's absolutely fine. You just like the look. If you like the look, then the Homage is the one for you. You don't like the history behind the watch. It's a little bit murky, but you don't like the history. 1954, the first one came out. That's absolutely fine. That is absolutely fine. If you find a Homage, you get that buzz still. Because that's what I get with watches. You know, I open one up and there are certain watches like this one. This just gave me a buzz. Ooh, that's not looking good, is it? This gave me a buzz for Seiko. This one. And it does have some homage, some similarities to it's not mine, by the way. I got to give this back. I've had it for way too long. It does have some similarities to the Daytona, but it is definitely a Seiko watch, you know. Dr. Bob. Dr. Bob. Oh, my friend, it's upstairs. It's upstairs. It's upstairs in the drawer in the bedroom. And unfortunately, my little 1-year-old son is sleeping in there at the minute. And the drawers we have go make a big noise, so I can't get it out. But yeah, I absolutely love that watch. I love it. The dial, I think it's the best dial I have in my collection. And it's, you know, that doesn't say a lot because most of my dials are like black. But I absolutely love the watch. Dr. Bob's, I do appreciate your super chat. Thank you, man. That makes me happy. But just makes me happy you watching. Here's another brand. Customary. It's fading. I need a new one. There's another brand that people think I'm shilling. Vertex. I just love the brand, guys. I just love the brand. I love Don. I love everything to do with the history of the blooming brand. And I love the watches. I love the watches. And it's one of them watches for us hobbyists in this weird game that if you know, you know. It's a stealth watch that if you was to get picked out for wearing it, you'd be quite shocked. I buy my watches for me. I don't buy them for anyone else. And I know when I wear a Vertex, I am flipping proud of wearing a Vertex. And all the watches that I own after this huge purge I'm doing, I'm flipping proud of wearing them. And that goes for the Seikos that I own. That goes for the what you would call luxury watches, and that goes for anything else. You know, I'm just proud of wearing a watch and the watches that I have. Tafka, whack. How do you feel about vintage watches? Do you buy battered oldies? Yeah, I tend to steer clear from vintage watches, only because there's so much that can go wrong. I certainly wouldn't buy one on eBay. My good friend John at the Antiques Watch Company, or Weichi Watches, those are sort of places that I would go to get my vintage watch, because someone that you trust. You got a brick and mortar shop that you can go to if anything goes wrong with a watch. That's what I'd like, because you need a relationship with someone you bought it off, because you know some of these movements you know, like the Speedmasters. There's loads of guys that send me pictures of Speedies from the 60s, the 70s. And it's like, it's incredible. They are incredible watches, but, you know, when they break down, and, you know, they will, or you need them serviced, you know, there's only a certain number of people that can actually do that. So, yeah, I do love vintage watches, and my favorite watches to look at are vintage, but they're not practical in my life in 2024. They're really not. I prefer to have a vintage inspired watch. Best loadouts. How are you doing, my friend? What do you think about Seiko mods? I like all modding. It's a strand to watch, to the watch hobby that I have not got into. I like, even to the point where I don't do too much strap changes these days, because I appreciate that the design of the watch, for most part, the designing of it, the bracelet has been designed with that watch, whether it's a strap or a bracelet. So I'm quite respectful in that sense, even though I know if I stick it on an Artem strap, it's going to elevate it even more. But yeah, it's like the SPB 411 navigator timer that I've got, the Seiko. I'm never going to take that strap off because it's quite unique to that Seiko. But you know, I know it would look awesome on a leather strap. So yeah, still hits the mark, my friend. Still hits the mark. And you know, I've recently had my SKX 013 on the new Clockwork Republic FKM rubber strap with the fixed the solid end links, and you just look at that watch and you think to yourself, why do I bother? Why do I bother with anything else? Because that watch is still damn good. Yeah. Yeah, for me, they're just space takers. I don't like winders. Has anyone else bought the gold Casio Jeff Goldblum wears in Chaos without much intention of wearing it other than fancy dress? What is it, my friend James? That's interesting. I did see that on Netflix. Is that on Netflix? I think the pocket watch will make a comeback as every wrist is a target when out and about. I hear you, my friend, but I think those that will go for pocket watches will not. I don't know how many expensive pocket watches are there out there. I wouldn't mind getting my hands on a CWC pocket stopwatch, not a pocket watch, a stopwatch. I don't know if pocket watches will make a comeback. I'm not sure. They could do. They are cool. Anyone talking about Homage? I did buy a Laco Homage from Laco, paying tribute to a watch they made themselves years ago. Wonder if that counts. I think that is that's the perfect homage for me. A company that makes a watch that they did in the past, and with Laco you can opt in for a Japanese or a Japanese movement or a Swiss movement that Laco offers. So that's quite a nice option. But I think I like basic. Where is he? Buddha Guns. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Here's a guy that has 1 million watches, and he has 0.700,000 Long Island watch watches, the Islanders. And he's got a point, hasn't he? Every watch is a homage to something. But that's the same with songs. And you know, I like to think that when someone listens to my song, there is a bit of Beatles in there. There's a bit of Paul McCartney in there. There might even be a bit of Noel Gallagher in there. You know, those sorts of things. And when I look at a watch, I will think, that does remind me. That gives me a sense of this, that. And I guess watches that don't give me anything, which tend to be modern watches, I don't particularly like, you know, so it's got to pull me in with a nod, a tip of the hat to something. Here we go. Matrix Egg. What are your thoughts on buying a Homage to find out if you would like wearing the original? I heard this argument from some people on here on YouTube. Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult one for me. I'm just seen. I was having a look, doing some research on the San Martin Tudor Black Bay 58. That watch is almost a millimeter. It's a millimeter thicker. It's a millimeter bigger in diameter, and the lugs are much longer. I think this is 47 lug to lug, the Tudor Black Bay 58, whereas that San Martin is 49, and the watch is 40. That's not going to show. That's not going to tell you that the Black Bay 58 fits. All that's going to show you is, I like the look of this watch. You know, whether it fits or not is completely different. The other thing is the difference in the build of the straps and the bracelets. That's the thing. It feels expensive just by the way it's made, the polishing, the attention to detail on all the angles to not make any right angle, you know, sharp. You know, that's just what you pay for in luxury watches. Ascari, love it. He has been a member for 10 months. Give him a round of applause. And I know there is a lot of people out there that have been members for a long time. Appreciate this support, my friend. I have not seen the new. I'm going to have a look at that later, my friend, but I definitely will. I love an A159. Pretty much a homage watch, really, wouldn't you say? Those watches, in actual fact, what have I got? I've got one here, the ABL 100, the last Casio that absolutely smashed it in the views. This is a homage to everything that a Casio has done in the late 80s, early 90s with a step counter. So I like that. I do like that. Here we go. Darren, my Grail watch is a bull of a lunar pilot, and it will be in my collection shortly. I have 56 working watches at the moment. What is your Grail watch and how many do you own? That is a haul, Darren, isn't it? That is a haul you've got there, my friend. It's definitely come down. The purge, it definitely is ongoing. I'd like to keep this is my thought process in my head. You know, let's forget about the Mrs. MWC is right over there. She just sent me a silly picture. Yeah, you should. So I'm downstairs. See, I'm not up in my room. I've lost my train of thought now. Yeah. So what I want to do 10 Seikos, 10 Seikos, possibly. That'd be my limit. Then my Vertex, forget about them. And then my CWCs, forget about them. Yeah. And then have another 10 mechanical watches. That would be my that's my thought process. I mean, I'd love to get it down to 10 overall. But yeah. Tafka whack. I'll tell you what, my friend. They try. There's a few that try, my friend, but none of them. They can't. Nah. Hey, what's my view on Pagani design? I'm not a fan of Pagani design, my friend. Although I would say this is, this might be a hot topic. I would rather get a Speedmaster homage from Pagani design for the same money than buy a Moon swatch. 100%. And I think a lot of people would as well. Is an analog G-Shock stronger than a digital G-Shock? Well, the only thing that you got to understand is the hands. The hands are very flimsy, aren't they? And they're pretty sturdy when they go round. But if there is a massive shock, you would understand. You wouldn't be surprised that the hands would fall off the stack. So yeah, I would say that digital watches would be stronger in my view, and also there probably would be less parts to a digital. Why don't you review AliExpress watches? Save. I kind of think I've answered that. I did review a Seagull 1963, which you could buy on AliExpress, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure about AliExpress, you know, because of the Homages, you know. GF 111 almost Hanhart. Oh, very nice, my friend. Very nice. Thank you very much for the super chat. How does the Zin? This is a great question from Gen G. How does the Zin Navitimer fit into this? Well, I'm pretty sure that in the 70s, Zin bought the rights to the Navitimer. And it does have that history there. So, and in actual fact, it's a better made watch than the Breitling now, which is, you know, with water resistance and everything else. I think it has a bit of a history there. You know, it has a bit of credibility. There's credibility there, Jen, because they bought the rights to make a Navitimer. Oh, 100%. 100%, my friend. 100%. Dr. Bob. Absolutely fine. And to be fair, you know, this has all been brought on by Seiko, hasn't it? These sorts of watches. The rise of the Homage, the Clomage brands are because of the NH35, you know, and the GMT movement as well. You know, they've only got themselves to blame, really. There are loads of stuff there. Questions for the wife. I like the box behind you. Can I'll question for your wife? Yeah, she would say yes. She would say 100%. You could come and get it right now. Squirrel, say what? Say what? There's not enough people have seen that show, Squirrel. The Say War. I think it was the cheapest automatic watch on Amazon. Yeah. Kid on the Block. There's no denying that they make fantastic watches, my friend. It's just the ones that they sell the most are Clomages, copies of others. And I wouldn't buy one. I wouldn't buy one, but I've handled one. I think they're fantastic. Yeah. San Martin seem to be the strong ones in this AliExpress stuff. My watch journey started with Steel Dive Willard. This has led me to buying a Seiko Slim Turtle. Homages definitely have a place as a lead in. They do, and I completely agree with that. It's just I don't think you should stay on that journey with them, because you end up, in my humble opinion, wasting the money on watches you probably won't wear in 2 years' time. I think that's an absolutely great buy, my friend, because of the new SPBs. The old SPBs, the old 62 masses are going down in price. It's a little bit thinner, the new ones, and the lug to lug is smaller. I would say the new ones wear better, right? But if I was to choose where that date window was going to go, I would definitely choose the SPB 143. Also, you can't get that colorway, the 143, in the new ones, so I would definitely go with that. That's a great price. Punch Drunkard member, hope you're doing well, mate. How many times a day do you look at your watch, not including to check the time? For me, it's about 50. I've never really counted it. I must let into a little secret sometimes that the wife just thinks is an absolute joke. When I choose a watch, because that's the hardest thing in life in the morning, is to not get the kids into dressed and in the car and out. It is to decide what watch to wear. I have to admit, after that upheaval and stress and pressure of finally choosing the right watch, stick it on my wrist, get in the car, and we're driving along, and the wife goes, "What's the time?" And I look at my watch and I don't know, because I haven't set it yet, or I haven't wound it. And she said, "If your subscribers knew the truth, you know." So yeah, I will accept that. But it's when I get out of the car, that's when I have my little bonding session with my watches, give it a wind, and then sort out the date if there is one, and the time. I don't know if anyone else is like that, but the stress of having to choose the watch, particularly if you've got loads, is so hard for us. They don't know they're born, do they? But yeah, Ray, absolute legend in the watch community. Hope you're doing well, my friend. What if the Homage uses better spec quality parts than the original? Heimdallr versus Seiko Monsters. You're still my top man. Oh, my friend, thank you. Yeah, I still wouldn't buy it. I mean, I would go, and we had this conversation a long time ago with live at the live show, and All Along the Watchtower by Bob Dylan is made so much better by Jimi Hendrix. The originals can be beaten by the clomage or the copy, but without that original, there would not be that copy. And that is where I find the special, that's the true purity of idea and design. That's what I feel strong about. The inception of the Willard, the first company. Well, it was Seiko's first watch that was an asymmetrical cushion case. The thought about bringing that out at the time, the heads of Seiko must have been thinking, are we doing the right thing? We put a lot of money into this, particularly how watches and cases were made back then. Just that thought of, yes, we will do it, and how successful it was, and what a legend the 6105 is now, and you have to say a big thank you to those designers and the people that pushed that case to be made, only for someone like Heimdallr to take the rewards, even though there may be a better movement inside and whatnot. But that still doesn't mean I don't appreciate you doing it, man. Because I appreciate everyone. Titanium shell. I opened the show, my friends, showing my Homage. Yeah, my MHKR is a homage to all the World War II watches back in the 40s, and a particular reference of a Omega, which you wouldn't be able to tell but it's there if you look at the 9 and the 3. So yeah, I'm all for homages. I'm just not into copies. Here we go. So you don't wear a watch all the time? I can't do it in the bed. I cannot wear a watch in the bed. I feel like I still got my clothes on. I feel like it needs to come off. It's always by my side. I've always got a watch the bedside table, but I can't wear a watch at night. I can't do a TGV. TGV loves his watches, wearing his watches at night. What are you laughing at? He said it. He said it. He said it. We got intimate once. No. Rob Wood. Look at Robert Wood. Nice to have Robert Wood here, isn't it? So yeah. Watch select. Oh my! I tell you what, it is horrible. It really is horrible because you feel like you're letting one watch down, particularly if you've got sibling. If you've got a blue and an original, and you're thinking, don't worry, you'll be tomorrow. And in actual fact, they won't be tomorrow. It'll be a CWC, or it'll be a Vertex, or it'll be the new Landmaster. I can just imagine the watchers' faces when they see a new one come in, and they want to absolutely hit me. No, I can't. I can't do it. Oh, I do like that flyback, Murray Mints. I do like that. Tag of almost. They're almost nailing it. But I'd probably go Longines, even though I can't stand the Swatch Group and what they're doing with overcharging these days. Good afternoon. I hope you are very well. I will watch the live on repeat because I do not understand English. Oh my God. Use the corrector to say hello and send a cordial greeting to all of you from Mexico. Giancarlo D'Angelo. I hope you are well. Hello from me to you. God knows our predictive text will, the subtitles will work, but I thank you. Thank you. Not that Giancarlo will understand. Thank you. Maybe, hopefully, we'll see. Wow. Crossy Boy's in the house. Crossy Boy, I hope you're doing well. Can you suggest me a... Oh, my God. Here we go. Here we go. Mahesh, hope you're doing well. Oh, my God, Mahesh, I've got to try and... La Chandani. I don't know why I did that voice. I do apologize. Whenever I do those sorts of names, it's the only way it can come out. Lal Chandani. Love it. Can you suggest me a 6-watch collection of G-Shocks? 100%. The GMW 5610U, the GM, I think it's the GMU 5000. Definitely. I would go the DW 6900. I would definitely go. That's a definite. I've got the watches upstairs. I do like, if you like a big one. I do like my Range Master. I think it's the GW 9400. I do love this watch. It's old school, but also new school. Do love that one. I don't know how many I've told you, my friend. I do love the Frogmaster. Everyone's got to have a Frogmaster because it's very asymmetrical and it looks like a Frogmaster. The 5900 as well, DW 5900. I'd also get a metal G-Shock square. That's what I'd do, my friend. Hopefully that's 6. I wouldn't get any brand new G-Shocks, any new designs. Don't like them. Don't like them. Oh, look, it's Top Tier Ticker. Are you coming to the Manchester show? Be good to see you there. When is it, my friend? When is it? I don't think I've ever been to Manchester, particularly with that Yorkshire accent. I do apologise. Here we go. Here we go. Brendan McAteer. Once I'm up from bed, I love that 5 minute of picking a watch, setting the time and strap it on and the watch. Then I'll go and stop the kids wrecking the house. Oh, my friend. Yeah. Listen, well, if you want a bit of authority, you wear a G-Shock square, my friend, eh? You'll like, here we go. Here we go. You'll like this silly sausage. I've just realized what that name is, silly sausage. I like that. I'm trying to pronounce your name in like a in where you're from. I think silly sausage, and it's actually silly sausage. You'll like this. What is Andy Murray's favorite time? Oh my god, silly sausage. Anyway, 100% Doug. Oh, 100%. Here we go. Here comes Paul. Paul's got a great looks like Backdraft. I do love that film. I have a steel dive SD. What I find on a completely different subject on San Martin, when they have a product which is their own design, it says original design at the end, just to let you know. That annoys me. I have a steel dive SD 1953 Submariner Homage. In my pension, I will never be able to afford a Rolex, so I'm good with it. I do have the same Arnie as yours, though. One of my favorites. Again, my friend, that's absolutely phenomenal. Is it because you like the look of the Submariner Homage? And if that is the case, that's absolutely fine. For me, I get far more out of that Seiko with the history behind it. You know, it's what it is reinterpreting than I would just a watch that is there to sell, because there are people with pensions that can't afford the watch. They're prying on you, my friend. That's what I don't like. I don't like that. Yeah, you don't have to. Steel dive make clomages. I'd love to. I would absolutely love to, Skylar. Love that dial on that watch. Old Santana. I would love to. I think it's in October, and so much happens in October. My daughter's birthday, wedding anniversary, my birthday. A big day. Yes. So I'm not sure. Head baker, garlic bread. Love that name. Blessed day, brother. Stay happy, stay healthy. And you, my friend. That's a Jory Goodman line. Oh, it's Colin Tate. Hello, Colin. I usually pick my watch the night before, set the time and date, etc. Wind it up, hang it then next to my bed, ready to put on in the morning. Love that, Colin. Colin, are your kids all grown up now? Because you seem like you got a guy with a lovely bit of time on your hands, and I love that. When's that gonna come? I'm not sure it's gonna come for me ever again, but I love your proactive planning the day before. I absolutely love that. See there from Christian. Hi, Christian. The Glycine Combat Sub is awesome. And I would say, you know, I've had a couple on my wrist, and I wouldn't say that is it's not a clomage at all of the Submariner. You can see with the indices, yes, there is a Rolex Submariner tinge to it, but that I think that's 9 millimeters thick. Those combat subs, fantastically thin. They're great as well. They are superb watches from a great brand, great history. Maybe not that combat sub, but the brand itself has fantastic history. I would 100% go with a Glycine Combat Sub over 3 San Martins that are looking like a Rolex Submariner. Oh, let's design atelier. How are you, my friend from Aruba? You're still doing this YouTube like, my friend? Would you be willing to drop £2,000 on a new integrated bracelet, non-homage micro brand? Well, you've got to buy into the story behind the watch. Why have they made the watch? You know, what were they inspired? What inspired them to do it? Other than at this moment in time, a lot of people are buying integrated sports watches. So let's do that. Is there a reason behind it? You know, have you always, as the owners, have they always loved this kind of watch? What watches do they own? You know, there's got to be a story behind what they do, and not just to sell an integrated sports watch that's a non-homage. But you've got to give them a big props for doing it. Well, that's not great, my friend. They always were quite expensive in the UK, glycines. I remember people in the US were getting them for absolute steals. They're getting combat subs for like $250, whereas you couldn't get a combat sub for £500 in the UK. Russ, you be glad to know that lovely Seagull still gets wrist time. Oh, that's good. That's awesome, my friend. He bought a Seagull 1963 off me. And I couldn't have been more happier that it was Ray. Let's have a look. Here we go. I'm like Colin Tate, but it's large Lego Darth Vader clock. I hold the watch overnight. I love that, Steve. I love that. I love a tuna. Cheeky Winders. I love a tuna. Yes, tuna. You got to have a tuna. You got to have a tuna in your collection. If you like dive watches, the tuna is a massive historical watch where Seiko literally blew everyone out the water. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Tudor is a homage to Rolex, and I have bought watch dives homage to Tudor. Tudor was made to grab the working to middle class market. Basically, everything about the watch was still Rolex, apart from the dial and the movements. That was it. An ingenious marketing plan from the Hansi baby. Oh, that's too hard, my friend. That is way too hard. I can't do that. At the minute, it's still my DW 5040, which is the 40th anniversary G-Shock Square. Oh, did you see the new PRX Grendizer? For us French speaking, the cartoon robot is a gigantic deal. I need to have a look at it. Something's got to make me, you know, I've got to be excited if I'm going to look at another blooming PRX, my friend. So, yeah. Here we go. Where do you get your clock that has turtles, Mario, etc.? Ben made it for me. I think it was Ben's Watches. He's not around anymore, but he's a top lad. Fantastic, Panos. How are you doing? What's your favorite watch featured in a movie? It would have to be the Rolex Submariner 5513 that Roger Moore wears in Live and Let Die. To be fair. Oh, look. Design Atelier is being tortured by being sent PRX. He's locked the doors, but trust me, my friend, Tissot are coming with the PRXs. Watch out. No one wants PRX. Leave us alone. See, there's another one. Dan Henry. You know, you see them all the time. T doesn't really show them off anymore. Maybe the deals run out. But Dan is a massive true enthusiast, and he has his own website, and he takes he doesn't copy one watch. He'll take little influences from everything, and I do look like that. I don't own it. I wouldn't buy one because it's a little bit close to the mark, but I love the story and I love what he's doing. It is controversial to say that the Casio F84W is better looking. I don't think so, my friend. I love the strap on that watch. Oh, it's just a beautiful. I don't think I've got it here. No, it's upstairs. But it is beautiful. This is a watch I'm not really a fan of. This one. I've got about 5 or 6 upstairs. This one, these ones, and I reviewed 2 of these. There's one at the top there as well. This one, these ones for small wrists, but they're rubbish. Don't like them. Don't like those watches. Ever purchased from Argos? You're joking, aren't you, Glenn? It's a British institution. I've bought G-Shocks and most of my Casios growing up as a kid. Don't know much about them, my friend. Lovely looking watches, but they're too dressy for me. It's all limited editions. Anything that is limited that people know that they can make a quick buck on. We haven't got a hope in hell. You know, we haven't got a hope in hell. There's some great ones though, my friend. I bought the 5610U there, and I bought the W86, which is also a phenomenal watch. Russell's in the house, setting your Casios and Seikos to one side. What watch do you wear the most? It's whatever is usually the newest one, but it's my blue version of this. It's my blue Black Bay 58. Hope you're doing well, Russell. What's your dream watch? One day I will own the 14060 Submariner. The one before it just got a bit too showy and blingy. Dream watch. I don't really have a dream watch. I will own that voice note Seiko that Dan Aykroyd wore in Ghostbusters. That will be mine one day. There are too many, Nodge, isn't there? There are too many. I personally, I would say any that are under 39 millimeters because they're dress watches. You don't want a big dress watch. Yeah, it's a little bit taking the mickey, Tudor. I think they're just trying to get what they can from their big watches that, you know, they won't do too much of soon. You know, you imagine that Black Bay chrono in a 40 millimeter with a 12 millimeter thickness. You know, it would just probably would be better than the Daytona. Christian, I haven't. That is something that I need to do, and I'm looking forward to it, actually. Have I tested the Casio Oceanus? I will. Sure, give me something, mate. Give me something fun. Cool. I don't think so. Axia Pena, because of the Black Bay 58 blue. I just can't see it. I cannot see it. And the FXD. The FXD that's blue. I just cannot see them making another blue. Another shade of blue. Casio is just what I've been brought up with, Paramod. I would say that without Casio, I wouldn't love watches. And without my granddad. And James Bond. But I would have to say, you know, the staples are Seiko, Casio. I started properly with watches with Seiko. Grew up with Casio. So I love those two. Vertex, my favorite company. CWC are also up there. Those are and I do love Rolex. I love Rolex watches. I just don't like the marketing side to them and the bullshit. This has been phenomenal, team. I'm glad I've been able to have this little chat about I don't even know who Mary Spender is, Drongo. I have not seen it. Who is Mary Spender? Sounds like a luxury watch girl or a luxury thing girl. What I want you to do, team, in the comments section, not in this live chat, but in the comments section, I would love for you to do me a favor and type the next watch you are looking at buying, because that will give me a little bit of a good insight as to what you're doing. Also, it would help the algorithm muchly. So if you could do that, that would be great. And I'm going to try to do another live show soon. But this has been great about Homage watches. Hopefully, if you just joined us, you can look at the repeat and just get my thoughts on Homage, Clomage watches. So I would say big thank you to everyone that's watched today. Really appreciate it. Look out for the new shows that have come out. Got Zin, I have G-Shock, we've got Seiko's, we've got Orients, we've got Hamilton's, we've got loads. We've got loads of stuff. It's redonkulous. Anyway, love you all. Thank you for making the effort to watch. In doing that, I will make the effort to keep going for you guys. You're the ones that keep me going always. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Take care now. See you later.